Today I wanted to briefly talk about linear diffusers. These are diffusers used in mezzanines that are 8 or 6 meters. Somebody asked me to explain how to work with them. If we have a very large space, say a living room that is 8 meters. Here we have our window somewhere 8 meters. We have say 8 meters in height. There are such mezzanines up to that height, so we have to somehow deliver air here to reach this window. Well, when the window is that high, it creates a bit of a problem for us. We have to somehow deliver it. Here we have 8 meters. We have this big space. At the top we'll have a ceiling there, decorative beams. Happens in such buildings, and very often we can't do anything up top. What we can do is use a linear diffuser which will directly blow the air to the window, because at 8 meters we might encounter the problem that even if we have underfloor heating, sometimes it happens here that steam appears on the window above, or somewhere something may appear if there are bigger frosts. We need to somehow draw this air here. If we had a floor heater that distributes air here, we could place this diffuser anywhere and it would be okay. Nothing would happen to this window. But in this case we have to shape the air in such a way that it goes towards the windows. As these are our linear diffusers, I'll tell you in a moment how to make one yourself. It has a guide here that directs the stream. It's what I call design by copying. Some countries have made good money doing this. We take the most popular diffuser, which I said is the most popular because it's the cheapest, and cheapest doesn't necessarily mean terrible. This characteristic, this design. Now let's take a tape measure. What kind of opening does it have here?
Well, it has an opening of about 100 millimeters.
If we have the diameter, we know that the circumference is times pi. 2 pi r is the circumference of a circle. So if we have 100 millimeters here, then it's clear it's 314. And then we measure the height to calculate the surface area with the largest position, the largest opening. 300 times 3 is 900. 900 square millimeters is, let's say, with our plenum box, a 125 diameter. We know that if there are 900 square millimeters, we can take, say, about 60 meters here from this characteristic. Although each characteristic of a diffuser will be different, we assume this if you would like to do it yourself. These linear diffusers, we often just make them in the wall. I'll draw it. We make a little box at the back. We add modules such as I have here in orange. And we can do it ourselves. There is a completely white wall with plaster and an opening. If you want to, you can do it yourself, because some say it's very expensive. Well, it's not cheap. Indeed, a lot of work is needed to make these guides properly. Look at this We know it's 900 square millimeters. It's like having one plenum box. Let's see how our designers did it. Here we have how much? 21 millimeters times, let's say 50. We have 1000. So here we have 2000. Is this clear? How do we calculate the area of this opening so that the air can escape? And now see how simple it is. You buy these modules, whether from my company or another, it doesn't matter. We make a box. It can even be made of galvanized sheet metal or anything else. Yeah, here in the front we cut out an opening with the stainless steel sheet. We attach plasterboard to it so it looks even in the wall. You can buy a nice linear stainless steel finish. Now this one is made in a way that allows you to install it from above. No, you can install it from the side, and I will show you what's been done with these linear diffusers to make them work. But I need to change the camera for that. Each linear diffuser here has something for flow adjustment. We can set the flow. It's a sort of damper. Of course, from this side it's more difficult to adjust because normally you adjust it from the front. Look, I can adjust the flow. I can completely close it or open it to say 30%. Just to touch. Only there always needs to be a slightly bigger gap because if it's too small we might get some noise. You see? Something like this. This is for adjusting the flow. This is what I told you about our dampers used in diffusers. You can do it differently. You can take chairs and take say a rubber mat to seal this opening and simply make smaller holes, and you will also have flow adjustment this way. Well, I can't do it like that. And what else does it need to have?
Oh, you can see it here.
The guide. Yes, you turn it to set the stream you want, but in your case you can have one simple piece of sheet metal and you've already created a diffuser. Someone asked how to do it. When we already have it, we know how to calculate this area here. We know that at the back you need to adjust it with those flanges. Here they can be rotated. We use this to regulate the flow and this to adjust the direction. You see? You can make something like this yourself using drywall, a box, and then you can change direction. I'll try to draw it to show you how it's done. Now I'll show you a cross section like this. Look, you buy these modules. It's not expensive at all. A cross section is as if we were cutting it, and what do? Here we have our modules. Yes, something like this. Of course there must be this opening here, a passage. We make a little box like this. Here we have our opening. It's best that if the opening is slightly rounded because it's a flow. We make a gouge because look at the air expands here. If we want to direct it downwards, what do? We just need a guide like this. Here it may even stick out a little, and that will make the airstream go here. So it will go to the place I talked about. See how simple it is. It can obviously be done with stainless steel sheet. Here we enclose it with a gypsum board so that you only have this little hole. If you can't make something like that, unfortunately you have to spend 500 or 600 zloty and buy something ready-made. Several years ago, some less prosperous time, all ventilation companies, when they didn't have work on construction sites, they made all these air inlets, diffusers, all those ducts or manifold and plenum boxes themselves. Now we only installation companies, but this is actually very easy to do. Here we make a guide and we can direct the air wherever we want. You can do it yourself. You roughly know how to calculate the surface area of the opening and what it should be approximately. As I told you, it is very simple. For Takish, we probably have around 100, 200 pages, a lot of research on the design, and I've often wondered why this documentation even exists when it can be presented in such a simple way in just a few minutes. How to make a diffuser, how to direct the airflow to the windows, how to calculate all this in the simplest way. As I said, it's designed by copying. I think plus everyone should be able to make a linear diffuser in the living room. If not, they can be purchased not only from me but also on other websites. The ones we manufacture can shape the stream so it can go in any direction, up, down, sideways and so on, but you don't need that. It's enough to set the guide once. Možem că